Does anyone else get overwhelmed by the sheer size of your shoe collection? Almost like the wealth and excess of options is an impediment to enjoying any of them, even the ones that you would actually do enjoy wearing all the time. I want to talk about how I kind of got into that situation, what I would suggest to do to avoid that, and then most importantly, I want to walk through the collection, talk about what pairs I'm going to keep, what pairs I've decided to sell or I'm considering selling, and the rationale behind each of those decisions. This predicament that I find myself in, you may it may resonate with you, it may not. Early in any journey, whether that's building a collection, and you don't really think of it as a collection at the time, but when it turns into what's back here, like there's nothing else to call it other than a collection. You know, the ladder of pricing that you can easily scale up, and before you know it, you're spending a lot more than you originally budgeted. But this is almost the opposite, where it's like, okay, what I really want is a shoe that costs $1,500, but in reality, I could actually get two $800 pairs of, like, say, Carmina instead of one Acme or Mecariello. Then before you know it, you've spent the same amount of money, but you've ended up with nothing that you're really in love with, but you've just tried to, like, maximize what you get out of that spending, as opposed to just getting what it is that you actually want and having a much smaller, a much more accurate selection of what it is that you truly want. It's very easy to rationalize it that way, and then before you know it, you have all of these items that make up your collection, and you can't really decide between any of them because you do like them all, you do enjoy them, but there's nothing that you're extremely passionate about, as if you were actually getting the single item or number of single items that you originally intended to. I just have way more than I can enjoy, and I would much rather narrow it down to the pairs that not just do I like love how they look and I love the story behind them, but I wear them and I get use out of them. And anything that's, really not in that category, unless it fits a very niche, hole in kind of a shoe wardrobe, it's gonna get sold. I need to remove some of the clutter so that I can kind of get back to the basics and enjoy what I have, as opposed to having the anxiety of I don't know what to choose because I haven't worn many of these in any recent months. Let's take a look at the shoes now. This top rack here, this is Jurn Shoemaker Acme's Marvel Collection and Helen Shoemaker Blazing Wonders. These are not going anywhere, besides the fact that this is part of the Chinese handmade shoe review and comparison series. I just love double monk straps in general, and I don't foresee that changing. Right here, right below it, we've got the one of my favorite shoes of all time, this pair in mahogany, shell cordovan, 5 eyelet plain toed derby, and then the hole cut lazy man. Now let's continue down. Now this next row, this is not going to go anywhere either. This is the shell cordovan centurion. This is the hole cut lazy man from Joe Works, and TLB's Artista line. Absolutely love all three of these. Now we've got a few pairs from Mecariello. Moving down to the bottom rack here is just a stellar pair, not going anywhere. Absolutely love that. And then the Centurion. Now let's get a really quick look at the Harleston model. One of my favorite shoes. Now this guy, just hold out a few minutes. Let's finish up over here. This rack here, I absolutely love every pair of these boots. Same with this rack. These, the Ravello Alden suede chukka and a shell cordovan chukka from Acme. Extremely versatile on all three. One of the three here will be going, and one of the three here, and potentially one final look here. I've been sharing this view of the full collection here a few times recently, but doesn't hurt to get one last look at it. Then we'll hop back over to the desk to kind of go over the pairs I've decided to let go. This is Antonio Mecariello's Principis model. This is in a beautiful suede. I absolutely love the shoe, but it doesn't get worn. Centurion from Mecariello, and if I were to pick either or, I would definitely pick the darker brown suede. It's a reverse suede versus a Rapello, and a darker suede is just more versatile. I can see myself wearing that much more than this. And yep. Now we've got the Joe Works pair. I absolutely love this pair from Joe Works, but when it boils down to it, I've got the other pair from Joe Works that actually fits better. Pairs that are maybe not a necessity, but a necessity in my eyes from a standpoint of enjoyment and getting use and regular use out of them. Probably one of the bigger surprises, even to me, is this pair from Antonio Mecariello. This is Peccary custom pattern penny loafer. I absolutely love this shoe. Maybe I'll reconsider, maybe I have to try it on a few more times, but it's the fit. If I can't improve that fit, this one will have to go. A pair that is no surprise to me, probably not a surprise to many of you, but this is Carmina. This was a MTO from one of the last custom events that I was a part of with them. There's just a number of things about this, as well as Carmina, that is something I'm not, going to enjoy anymore. I ended that a little bit unfairly. I won't go into that entire story or that topic in this video, but if you guys are interested in hearing more about at least like how or why I make decisions like that, why I'm no longer affiliated with Carmina, like let me know in the comments. I'm happy to make a video, but this I think could be an interesting topic just to kind of give you a little bit of insight about who it is I choose to associate with, who I don't, and why. Is this color 4 Bowway boot from Enzo Bonifay. Now, I just got that navy hole cut Chelsea boot from Enzo and Soul Garb, and I absolutely love how that fits. Because of that, I've realized like this doesn't fit as well as it could, and I'm not going to wear it because of that. Now, the last pair that I've all but decided is going to be sold is this color 4 split toe shell cordovan from Acme. This is definitely one of the harder decisions, but ultimately it's not getting worn. And that's the reason it's going to go. I absolutely love this shoe. It was the first Piecrest split toe derby and shell cordovan that I ever had, kind of like the grail shoe for me, but it's got to go. I don't wear it. It's got to go. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit to do that, but it's got to go. Some of these decisions were much harder than others, and I think that's a fair assessment. I think if any of you were to go through a similar exercise and really be honest about what you enjoy wearing, what you really love the idea of, but when it's on your foot or just actually deciding to put it on your foot and wear it, then you have to make that tough decision. If you're not trying to trim down your collection or the shoes or boots or any type of item, if you're not trying to trim it down, then you don't have to worry about it. Make it a little bit easier to enjoy the pairs I like to enjoy, making content about how they're aging, and seeing more enjoyment out of that overall experience, which is really the whole reason that we do this, at least in my opinion. This has definitely been an iterative process. I've gone through this a few times, but never this decisively. Let me know what you think. Excited to hear from all of you, and I'll see you next time.